Okay. Thank you, José, for your presentation. Coming back to the environment, I would like to make two comments. And it's referring also to Professor Copin's intervention previously. Actually, I don't think any reason why we shouldn't expect differences between Australopithecines or Paranthropines from Eastern and Southern Africa. Because I may be wrong, but I think there's a latitudinal effect in Africa. And don't forget that East Africa has a lot of input of a muson from Asia. And Southern Africa was on a desertification pattern. So we know that the Namib Desert was forming as early as 20 million years. And you have all this area was going back drier. And in terms of biochronology, we have a complete section in the dunes, actually fossil dunes with mammals. No hominids, just mammals and birds. But we have this complete section coming from Southern Africa, definitely. And one of my comments would say also that we have a very good Pliocene site in South Africa, which is Langebanver. And we now find fossils equivalent to Langebanver in Namibia. And one point we shouldn't forget as well is that you get drier environment in Southern Africa, and we have been showing with our team actually that you get desertification earlier in Southern Africa than in Eastern Africa. So you get a species which were already adapted to the desert, and I'm talking of mammals, not hominids, which actually moved northeast and could settle when Eastern Africa was getting drier. These species could actually settle in East Africa. And my question is, why not hominids?
I understood the question. Why not hominids?
If we have movements from Southern Africa towards East Africa with different environments, could we think, because usually people tell that all South Africa was going from East Africa, but Southern Africa was not really an endemic area. It was endemic per se, but it was not completely closed from the rest of Africa.
Yeah.
So if we have a lot of data from the mammals, why not hominids?
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised.
No, I'm not saying that Southern Africa is an endemic place. Huh? I'm just saying that it will be interesting to test this hypothesis, as well as Professor Copin's hypothesis, using a stratigraphy from the same site in which we have these hominins, I mean Australopithecus and Paranthropus. And what I was saying is that so far we didn't have this stratigraphy with hominin-bearing stratigraphic layers. So the fact that we have this at Chrome Dry will be interesting, will provide us a good opportunity to test the idea of a change in the environment at Chrome Dry, of course, only at Chrome Dry. I'm not talking about Namibia or anything else. Huh? At Chrome Dry, using Chrome Dry and the assemblage, the faunal assemblage that we have in number 1 and in number 2. I don't have the answer so far.
Okay. You need the site for sure, but the thing is, if you have already data from other sites, but you have a different climate, and don't forget also that you have plants in Southern Africa, in the fossil from East Africa, that they are reaching today up to Uganda, for example. So you have a movement towards the east, definitely, in terms of repartition in vegetation and the fossil mammals as well. So you have already data from other sites from Southern Africa, South Africa, Namibia, and hopefully soon from Zimbabwe.
Yes, I'm just talking about South Africa. Huh? Not differences between regions, only South Africa and one stratigraphy in South Africa.
So thank you. Just a few minutes for one more question. No? So thank you. Yeah, shortly. Please. No, in the micro. Thanks for everybody.
I just have a very simple question. If you are hard pressed to answer the question, is Paranthropus monophyletic or not, what would you say?
From the use of the basic cranium, which for me is really highly phylogenetic in terms of signal. As I said, when we test these features using a large sample of primates, really of modern primates, we find this is a highly phylogenetic signal. So if we use only the skull base, I would say this is a monophyletic group. Yeah.
José, thank you for these interesting comments.